It's critical on how the barrel stops. The barrel must stop with the lug of the barrel striking this area of the frame. Must hit here in the frame. Now, it's okay if the two places of the barrel hit at the same time. I call it the belly and the saddle. This being the belly of the barrel, and this being the saddle of the frame. So it's okay for the barrel to hit the belly and saddle and the lug to frame at the same time. But what you must not do is have the barrel stop by having the barrel and frame hit in the saddle and belly and not stopping with the lug against the frame. It has to hit the frame. The lug must hit the frame and stop the river travel of the barrel. Now, the link may stop the downward travel of the barrel, or it may in fact hit belly to saddle, and stop it. Doesn't really matter. But the riveted motion must be stopped by the barrel striking the frame. The barrel lug must strike the frame down here. Must do that. If it doesn't, let's say that we file a lot off this lug of the barrel, and now the belly of the barrel hits the saddle of the frame. The barrel can't go down anymore, but the rearward travel of the barrel is now stopped by the link and the slide stop pin. They're not strong enough to do that on a regular basis, and pretty soon either the link stretches or breaks, or the slide stop pin bends or breaks. That tells you that the barrel is not fitted correctly. Now, how do we fit the barrel correctly? Well, we take it to a gunsmith, of course. Yeah, that's how I learned. I don't know how I learned, to tell you the truth. On this gun, when it's all the way down, all the way back, the barrel is just barely touching the saddle. Just barely. But it is touching it. There's nothing wrong with that. They can hit together. But the lug of the barrel must stop in the frame. Now, we have a test for this to see to it that the link the link and slide stop pin do not stop the river travel of the barrel. The lug stops the river travel of the barrel. It must hit there. You're fitting a new barrel, or let's say a barrel to a new frame, or vice versa. In other words, these two have never been a mated pair. You want to make them a mated pair, you have to make sure that they fit right. This one's going to be pretty close because it does in fact look like there's no look like it does. The barrel does touch the frame. I don't think very hard, but it does touch it. We'll put the gun back together and have a look, see at how that fits. Now, the test to see if the barrel lug is stopping on the frame. We push the frame down really, really hard. Hold it down, and then push on the slide stop. The slide stop should be totally free. It is. I'm pushing hard. But if it wasn't free, when you push the frame down like this, the barrel lug didn't hit the frame and stop. The link stopped it. So the link would then turn hard. It would not be free floating like this. You'd have to push it. It wouldn't return. That's a slide stop test. Vitally important that the barrel stop on its lug against the frame, not the belly to the saddle. And let's say that we have one that for some reason, we're putting a new barrel in or whatever, and it hits on the link and the slide stop. And so there's something wrong. The lug of the barrel is not hitting the frame to stop. It comes back and hits the saddle of the frame and stops going down, but it doesn't stop going back until the slide stop and link stop it from going back. Now, how can we fix that problem? If we're putting a new barrel and frame together and we have that problem, what's wrong, of course, is that it goes down and hits the frame before it goes back far enough to stop the barrel. How can we make this hit before that hits? Got any ideas? I have one. If we put in a longer link, that'll raise the barrel, won't it? It'll have to come down farther before the saddle and belly hit, huh? If we make it up higher, then it's going to come back. So if the link's like this, it goes like that. Put a link like that, it has to come back farther before it's down. I'll give you an example. Let's say that this is the belly of the frame. This is the old slide, comes down to here and hits. But now we raise it up like that, it has to come back farther to hit. So if the lug was stopping here and the saddle and belly of the barrel were hitting here and the lug and frame are there, if I put in a longer link, you see, it's going to, this lug will hit before the belly does, like that. So if this is short, this will hit before this hits. If it's longer, this will hit before that hits. You see that? I bet you don't.
Are you enjoying what you're learning? Then subscribe to the American Gunsmithing Institute's channel right now.
The nice thing about long links is now everybody makes them. You don't have to make your own. You can just buy what you want pretty much. We put in a longer link, and if we're lucky, it cured the problem. And now the lug hits the frame before the belly and saddle hit, and we're covered. If they hit at the same time, like I said before, it's okay. But what happens if the link is too long? Let's say we have to have as much lockup with this long link. So let's say a gun's going to be shot quite a bit. It had 27 thousandths lockup. We want to get about 40. We put in a 13 thousandths longer link, push the barrel up 13 thousandths farther. And because the barrel is higher, when it comes back and down, now it hits there before it gets close. So we got an awful big jump to fathom and get a shell in there. You see that? That ramp? That's the way it should be, something like that. It's up here because you got a real long link in it. You want the long link because you want that much lockup. That means that we need to have to spot in the barrel lug to get the barrel down lower. It makes it really, really hard to feed if the barrel's up here when it stops. It's got to pivot back far enough. In other words, if this is the barrel and it stops here, and we have a large gap between the ramp and the frame and the ramp and the barrel, if I can get the barrel to move back farther, it'll lower that. That's exactly what we're going to do. If the link is real long and the barrel stops right there, that's no good. We'll put in a shorter link, bring it down, or we can do something else. What we do is shave some off of the lug of the barrel. You can take it off the frame, but it's easier to take it off the barrel. And what I do, I will show you. I put the barrel on, the slide on, with the barrel bushing. I don't put in the spring or anything. Then I hit it hard on the table. I take it out. And lo and behold, there are marks where it hits. See? Hitting hard there, hitting there, hitting there, hitting there. See if we can get that so it shows up. A little bit there. You can see where it's hitting, you see? Now, if you want to, because a lot of the frames are like this, they're not perfectly flat. You can see that. It's not perfectly flat there. Pretty close on this. And if you want to file that out, worry it out, you can. If it's not very bad, I usually don't worry about it. But you can see it on this barrel where it's hitting. I'm not hitting right there, where that void is. I just ignore it. So we'll just spot it and file it, spot it and file it, until it gets down where we want it. So now it stops, and it's not way up here. It's moved back from like that to like that. We can live with that. That's no good. That's way too much gap. That's pretty close. We like that just fine. And of course, that would be okay too.
Do you want to learn the complete design, function, and repair of all different types of firearms and become a certified professional gunsmith? If so, go to www.americangunsmithinginstitute.com and request a complete information package.